Where do I need to start? There we go. Good morning. Happy Monday. Wow. Um, good morning, good morning, good morning. That energy, as soon as I said happy Monday, was just like, psh, yes, that is really cool. So, welcome to updating the universal laws. It is technically our first class, but the first class I did an introduction last week. You are welcome to watch that with the link. And if I do say so myself, I thought it was a pretty amazing start to a class, and it's another example of why we want to just keep trusting how everything shows up. So, welcome. How we're actually going to start is I'm going to cast a circle of light, specifying that only Source, my healing team, and the Privy Council be present for this morning's class. We're going to be talking about the law of one and how we're all connected. So may it be with the blessing, blessing, blessing of Source that we remember our truth, that we remind ourselves regularly that we come from a place of love, that we're all connected, and that it is all, at just an experience. And with that, we say Amen and Aho. I am very excited about this class. I've had several people um, pop in and say to me like, oh my gosh, are you a little nervous? I'm like, I'm so excited, I can't wait to do this. I wrote my book nearly 7 years ago. I was actually in the process of finishing it up 7 years ago around this time, and it just kind of sat there, and it was just a place for me to see where I could connect to universal information. I could connect to my higher self, and um, and it was a moment in time, and it is so awesome that we have had enough high frequencies coming in to make it available to us where we can access more of our information and more of the frequencies that we want in order to create what we really want to do here. So, our very first class, hope you all have your drink of choice handy. It is a fast class. We're just going to talk about the universal law, that law that says we are one. And if you were to Google it, you would get a lot of different names for, I kind of call these principles like they just are. They're just things that are there for us to just, once we know them and we instill them in us, we are just like, oh, got that, got that, got that. And this universal law says that we're all connected, that we're all created from the same source energy. And I absolutely love this idea and get really pissed off by it on a regular basis. So if that is you, you're in the right place. If it doesn't bother you, if you're just all love and light and happy, you are in the right place. And if you find when I say that to you that you're just like, oh, that's such a bunch of bullshit, you're still in the right place, because this is the place where we can have conversations about what shows up, and we can kind of work through those things. We can be like, okay, I kind of get that. I understand that. All right, that makes more sense. And what we're doing on a very basic level is offering healings for those places where we get stuck, remembering that we're really all connected. Because, of course, it's really easy to say, I'm connected to my family, right? To my kids. I actually have two kids. For those of you who may not know that, I have two grown children. My daughter Sarah is 31 and my son Matthew is 28. And it's really easy for me to go, of course I'm connected to them. And of course I'm connected to my husband. And of course I'm connected to each and every one of you. But that person who is creating a whole lot of fear and pain and anger, whoever it is, oh, well, I'm not connected to them. And one of the things that we want to remember about this concept, this principle, this law, is that every time we deny the truth of somebody else, that they too are loved, that they too are connected, that we are connected, every time we do that, it's like we put ourselves sitting right next to that person. Now, there's some people I don't want to be sitting next to. I'm just saying, I really don't. But when I keep that in mind, I go, wait a minute. There is something there to love. There is something there about them. There is something to remember about them. And when I can remember that, suddenly what I've done is I've taken them and I've moved them up in frequency. I brought them right along with me. And isn't that a really cool concept at a very basic level? Like, oh, every time I love somebody, every time I express my love for them, not necessarily to them, but just, oh, I recognize them, I bring them up a level. Imagine what the world would look like if we all did that regularly, every day, all the time, the people that we didn't like. So, one of the phrases that I absolutely love that you may hear me say on a regular basis, which expresses this concept, is that love is the only truth. Like when you take away all the fear, all the anger, all the pain, all the nonsense that we consider, what's left there is love. So love is the basic building block. Love is the only truth. And that's part of what we are doing as we chat. We are just moving those things that get in the way of reminding us that love is the only truth. It's what we were created from. Way back in the beginning, whenever that happened to be, we were created, our souls, our higher selves were created from love. Like literally just pulling the love out and going, there. Now you have a life. Now you have an experience. And all the details around that are just part of the experience that we're having. So you can ask yourself, as one of the things you might want to do on a regular basis while you are sitting in this class, is where do I have trouble remembering that? What is it that sends me over the edge and starts thinking that they can't possibly be like me? They can't possibly be created from love. You can work on that. You can journal that. You can ask for a healing on that. Because every time you bring more consciousness to those kinds of things, there is a healing available for you. Now, in my language, a healing is an opportunity for some growth, for some evolution, for some, that was interesting. Okay, I'm going to trust that. That's exactly how it was, meant for me to experience that. And every time we can do that, I want you to picture in your head that you're going up a step. It's a spiral staircase going up, and that's what we're doing. We just keep taking one more step up towards our growth and evolution. And the more we do that in our daily lives, the more things start to manifest, create. The things you're like, yes, this is the thing I want to do in my life. Yes, this is the peace I want to have in my life. The more we do that, the more we're like, yes, and trust it is possible. Absolutely. Here's another piece of that. We are all one. What is done for one is done for all. What is done for one is done for all. So that means if one of you sends me a message and says, oh my God, I have this like huge weight sitting on my chest. It feels like I have an elephant sitting there. When we work on that and take a look at whatever that is, when we do that, it's done for everybody. Because whether you are aware of it or not, we all have those elephants sitting on our chests, those weights, those burdens, those boulders, whatever you want to call that, we all have them. Now, for me, I'm aware that for a really long time, I would say nearly 50 years, I was busy doing my life, raising kids, experiencing whatever was going on. And I had no awareness of those boulders or those burdens I was carrying around. Sure, I had some like moments, but I had no awareness that like, oh, you mean that's like energy? You mean like I'm not stuck with this? You mean like eventually I can get rid of this? I don't have to carry it around? That was me. So if that's you, that's okay. You can know now that you're not stuck with it. And we will definitely be talking about that one. You're not stuck with anything. In fact, as you get the awareness, as you bring more consciousness to all of this, it starts to just lift, transform, move on in ways that you'll just be like, oh my gosh, really? That was really cool. So, what I want you to be aware of is if you have something going on with you, if it's that elephant on your chest, maybe you feel like you're carrying the what are those things called? The wooden things that hold the buckets. Yeah, that thing. Yeah, thanks. If you are carrying a load of stuff, maybe you feel like you have a real heavy backpack on. When you bring that to the attention of the class here, when you bring it to my attention, I can help you move that, but we also move it for everyone else. Isn't that freaking cool? Like, I have spent a lot of time going, sure. But it is absolutely true. It's part of being in the one love. The more we understand that what we do for one, we do for all, the more we want to start all pulling in the same direction. Oh my God, that stuff that you're bringing in, yes, bring it to the party because that means I get to move some of that as well. And that's priceless no matter how you look at it. Bring those things in. Don't worry about sending me a text or sending me a message and saying, help. Because when I receive a message like that, I'm like, yes, 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 yes. We get to move that for everybody. It's a good thing. And don't worry, we're not going to run out of things to move. So, wherever you are now, whatever you're experiencing now, take a moment. You can put it in the chat, but you can also just speak it where you are. Maybe you're busy driving and you're like, I can't get to my phone. I can't send a text. Just speak it right here into the field, into the air, and know that everybody is getting a healing on that. Everybody is having something moved from out of their chest, out of their stomach. Oh, there's a few people with those sacrum issues. Yes, I'm happy to help with those things because that's part of being of the one love. Whew. Yes, please. Here's the third thing that I would love for you to know about the idea that we're all connected. It's one of those things you go, really? Like, of course we're all connected. Of course that makes sense. There is no separation between us. We as humans love to organize and put things into boxes and separate. Usually what I'm talking about is separating people. Well, there's the people that are from that country, where there's the people who are that religion. There's the people who look like that. We love to do that. I truly believe our educational system spends a lot of time teaching us how to do that. And maybe there's some use for it somewhere in math or keeping our rooms clean. But in truth, from an energetic standpoint, there is no separation between us. It is a lie that is told over and over and over again. Because the more that we can be separated, the more that the control energies can manage us. So the more we remind ourselves that we're really all in union, that we're really all connected, the more we can lift it all up, take another step up that spiral staircase, and create a world that is filled with the idea that we're all connected. So, if you would like, another thing that you can do at this time while you're sitting in class, or any time between now and next week, is catch yourself when you see yourself separating people, when you see yourself kind of putting people into categories. And some of this is really insidious. It's like you don't even notice that you're doing it. And the more I practice this, the more opportunities I have to see where it's really subtle. You know, that comment about women, or that comment about people of color, or that little subtle statement about people's preferences for anything under the sun. And then every time I catch it, every time I'm aware of it, I have an opportunity to bring more love and more consciousness to that. I bring it right into the conversation, not from a place of, well, do you know? I've discovered that doesn't work very well. But I bring it in from a place of me being conscious of it and just in my head, heal that, love that, love, 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 love. And what I discovered is every time I say the word love, every time each one of you say the word love, love comes out of your mouth. Do you need to be somebody special for that to be the case? You already are. You already are. That's part of being the one love. Every time you open your mouth, love is coming out. So you just love it, love it, love it. Sometimes you'll hear me say, just love and bless it, love and bless it, love and bless it. And the more we do that, the more we take those steps up the spiral staircase. Is it really that easy? Really? Is it really that easy? It is. It's really cool. It's really cool that it's that easy. You know, sometimes we think that there's um, these trips, these wires, these traps that it's like some of you are showing me like you're walking through the woods and there's those little, I think they're called trip wires, a little trip wire that you hit it and it's like, and then something bad is going to happen. Are there trip wires? Do we all have those things in us? Yeah, we do. But every time we have an opportunity to catch ourselves and to love and bless it, those things start to transform. They're no longer something that catches us and creates some sort of harm or karma or bad thing in our life. It's just another opportunity for us to be like, oh, let me love and bless that. And as I love and bless that, I can trust that it's transforming. You may not always trust it, but that's what I'm here for. Feel free to text me. Oh my gosh, I just had an experience like no other. Can I get some help with that? Absolutely. For those of you who have known me for a while, for those of you who have had some experience with me, perhaps texted with me, you will know one of my favorite words is absolutely. Absolutely. Because why would I say anything else? You all are the troopers, the warriors, the people that are out there loving and blessing other people. And I am happy to help you do more of that. So we've got the ideas that we're all connected. We understand that love is our only truth. We have an awareness that what is done for one is done for all of us. And we understand that there is no separation, that is a lie that gets told over and over and over again because there's some agenda, some idea that if they tell it enough, that we'll believe it. There are loads of healings available for us, and I want you to get that. Get that. I'm happy to give the healings. If you'd like, you can ask, where do I have some separation? Where does separation show up? I have a lot that shows up right here in my throat. And one of the things I'm aware of is that it's not just where I feel separate from other people, but it's also where I feel separate from myself, where I continue to think that somebody else knows me better than me. Somebody else must know me better. And what I start doing is going out there and saying, so what do you think I should do? So if you were me, how would you handle this situation? Anybody relate to that? I suspect all of us can relate to that. Because we've forgotten that we're not separate, that we're not separate from ourselves, as well as not separate from other people. So if you find yourself going, yep, that's me, happy to help you with that. Yes, happy to help you with that. If you find yourself going, but I need to work harder, I need to work smarter, you find yourself operating in what I would call that competition energy. Happy to help you with that too. Because we're all together. There's more than enough for all of us. As a healer, I could live in an entire city filled with healers. And I know there's enough work for all of us. If you are an accountant, if you are a coach, if you're a teacher, no matter what you do, if you're a doctor or any of those things, there's really enough for you to do. We don't need to be in competition. We just need to keep healing. There's places where we go, oh my God, I don't know if there's going to be enough. Happy to help with that as well. So here's my question for you. Here's a little bit of work for you to do. And you can certainly just ask yourself this. You don't have to share it with anybody else. But who is the person that you most struggle with? Who is the person that you hear their name and you immediately think not so nice thoughts? That person, we're going to help you with. That's probably the person that you have a lot of agreements with, that you've had a lot of experience with, and you've spent a lot of time saying, oh, they're just, and you fill in the blank. So we want to help you free yourself up of some of that. And we will definitely be talking a lot more about karma and the experiences of karma. But here's what you can do for that person. That person for me is my sister-in-law. I've talked about her a lot. Thank goodness she's never in my classes. There are times when I can sit and rant and rave about her. Oh my God, and then she did this, and then she did that. And do you know what she said? Oh my goodness, what in the world was that? So what I can do is sit down, write her name down if I'd like. I can just be driving in my car and have an image of her in front of me, and me start to make a list of qualities that are really positive about her. My sister-in-law is an amazing cook. She is a professionally trained chef. She can make food that is just so yummy. That's a positive quality. What's the positive quality of the person who you most struggle with? We'll gift them and you, because what we do for one, we do for all. My sister-in-law can love, like, just love, 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 love people. It is definitely a quality of hers. I would say sometimes it feels like struggling, strangling, overkill, but that is a positive quality. So you see how that's done? I can just bring a little bit more appreciation for whoever that person is. Now, they don't always have to be a person that is in your life that you interact with every day. They might be. You might have a thing for somebody who you see on TV, in the news, in your community, your neighbor. And it doesn't matter if you have a list of 100 people that you struggle with. One day you might be talking about Bob. The next day you might be talking about Jane. Every day might be a different person that you're working with, that you're like, okay, let me find 5 qualities that I admire. 5 positive qualities. Maybe you don't even admire them. And you know what's cool about the number 5? That number 5, the numeric 5, is filled with love. You know, when you see those things online and it's 555 means this. I'm here to tell you that 555, however you see it, is a message of love for you. It's on your receipt. It's on a clock. You see it somewhere on a license plate. That's a message of love for you. And that's more of that we're all connected. Now, if you'd like, you can ask this person who I struggle with, I'd really like to gift them something. I really feel like they could use more self-worth. I really feel like they could use more trust. I really feel like they could, maybe they just need some more joy in their life. Can we gift them that? Yes, absolutely. Gift, gift, gift. It is that easy. You are that powerful. You have that ability. And all you're doing is loving and blessing them, loving and blessing them. I send you more joy. I send you more self-worth. I send you more love, love, love. Isn't that cool? Anybody can do that. More love, more love, more love. Yeah. So, got lots of things that we can do to keep putting this idea of we all are connected, that we're all part of the one love, the one light. All week long, you can do these things. Do you have to do them every day? Nope. Do you have to do them in the morning? Nope. What if you never think about them again? Totally okay. Totally okay. But here's a couple more ideas of how you can implement this in your life. Implement. Put this in your life. No, you can implement it. I love to play the gratitude game. I used to play this game with my kids when they were young, and we've since forgotten about it. Say something you're grateful for. I'm really grateful that when I woke up this morning, I turned on my lights and they worked. How about that one? God, that one seems really silly until you don't have them. And as someone who is sitting in South Florida during hurricane season, I'm going to just be in gratitude that my lights came on this morning. Now, my lights came on this morning. Wow, I'm really grateful for the person at FP&L who made sure that the lines, the wires, whatever those things are called, to my house are constantly working. I am so grateful to that person, to those people. I'm just going to send a little gratitude to them. And to whoever hired them, I'm going to send some gratitude to them. Thank you for hiring those people. And I'm going to send gratitude to each of their parents for whatever their parents did to raise them so that they would be productive members of society, and they would be there to help me make sure that my lights come on. Do you see how this game is played? You can literally just keep adding the people that you are grateful for. Maybe you're grateful for teachers. Maybe you're grateful for the doctors. Doesn't matter what it is. And every time you speak that gratitude, it's the same thing as loving and blessing somebody. And you're taking another step up that spiral staircase. And maybe there's times you don't want to play that game. It's okay. Stop playing. Not a rule, just something to do. Something to bring more gratitude into your life. Here's another one. How about as you're going along your day, that you start to notice the words that you use or people around you use. Words that unite us and words that separate us. When you tune into that, when you start paying attention to that, you'll be amazed at how many words there are and how many times you can catch yourself speaking about separation. I do that sometimes when I'm sitting outside feeding the birds. The birds, for God's sakes. Oh, I don't want to give birdseed to those birds because they're really greedy and they hog up eating all the birdseed. Oh, wow. Look how I'm separating them. Look how I just moved those birds off to the side and I'm sitting right next to them because I've forgotten that doesn't matter. We're all one. We're all connected, right? The more you notice those words, the more you start paying attention to those things, the more you are transforming it. Once again, you're bringing consciousness, you're bringing awareness to that idea that we are all one, that we are all connected, that there really is no separation. How cool is that? Just keep bringing more awareness to it. So, the places where you separate, lots of places in our brains where we separate. There's a lot of training we have. We were trained to do it. We were trained, by our religious institutions and our educational system and society to separate things. I'm going to help you with all of those. Lots of things in our brain. I see those little separations like the dividers in an office. I'm going to work on more of those for all of us. Yes, thank you. As well as we'll move some more unconsciousness. That unconsciousness is opposite of the consciousness, the awareness that we want to bring. The more awareness we bring to ourselves, the more awareness we're bringing to the planet. So, lots of things we can do this week from a physical in the world perspective. Also, lots of healings available. What do I want you to remember for this week? That you are part of the one love. That you are loved and supported and protected and filled with more love and light than you actually could possibly imagine. And I also want you to remember that I'm here for you however you need help. Maybe you just want somebody to have a conversation with. Maybe you're just looking for some energetic support. Maybe you have an idea that just popped in your head and you're like, I could really use some help with that. I am here for you however it shows up. And I am happy to move all the ideas that all of you have that you don't want to bother me. It's never a bother. Never a bother, never a bother. Now, this is being recorded. You are going to get the link to the Google document that has the link for YouTube. And that is going to be available. I think after class, you may have already gotten it. Those details sometimes escape me. If there is anything you need, please find me. You can find me on social media. You can text me. You can find me on social media and ask for my number. Happy to give that to each and every one of you. And I'm going to seal the field unto the light of that one true source creator God. Send lots of thanks and blessings for my healing team, for Source, for each and every one of you. I will definitely send the link for the introduction. Happy to send that, and you can send that on to anyone else. And people are certainly welcome to join this class anytime they want. They'll get all the links to the classes that came before. Lots of love and blessings to each and every one of you. How you show up in the world is so magnificent. And I'm so excited to have each and every one of you here. Have a great week. Let me know if there's anything I can do, and I'll see you next week.